Alright, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling Stranger Things Season 1. Final season's coming out this November, or it might already be out by the time I post this. I don't really know. From 2016 to 2025, almost a 10-year journey this has been almost. And we are finally getting to the end, and I figured why not watch the first season, see where it all started. And man, this was a wild trip. So, first episode, episode 1, chapter 1, The Vanishing of Will Byers, which I like that they did that. I kind of like that idea of the chapters. I do enjoy that. Basically, this episode, we get introduced to everybody. We get introduced to Will, Lucas, Dustin, kind of 11, but it's very towards the end of it. We get Hopper, we get Joyce, we get Nancy, we get Steve, we get introduced to everybody. Jonathan, we basically get introduced to the main cast of what we're going to be dealing with going further. This is going to be the crew we are going to be with for the next 5 seasons. So, the next decade, essentially. Getting introduced to them, the boys and how they're very into D&D and all the monsters and everything, and doing quests back then, because that's what you did if you were playing D&D. It wasn't a video game or anything like that. Making up your own stories and essentially playing them out in real time, which I like how they kind of keep that theme almost throughout the show, so that was kind of cool that they started off like this. But Will ends up going missing, ended up finding out he kind of gets kidnapped, essentially. We don't really see what it is, but we know it's some kind of monster, some kind of creature. We only get a silhouette of it and a quick shot of it. From there on out, we're kind of just trying to figure out what all happened to him. The boys want to figure out what happened to their friend Will. Joyce and Jonathan want to know where he could have been, if someone kidnapped him, if maybe his dad ended up taking him and not saying anything. There's just so much going on here, and we're not sure what is really going on. What's going on at this lab that's going on? What's this opening that we're seeing? What creature took Will? There is so many different things that are going on, and it's just a good intro to what's going to happen later on in this season. And it's a nice opening. How we get introduced to everybody and how it's all going to kind of play out, and how you can kind of see everyone's character traits almost right away. Even if some of them, they spell it out, you kind of get them all right here, and how that's going to basically carry them throughout the whole show. Not really a bad pilot. This is definitely a grade A pilot. There are so many pros I got here. Well, not so many, but a good amount. The whole opening, from when we see the opening of the lab, and this lab coat dude getting chased by some monster that we have no idea what it is, ending up getting killed, to Will being kidnapped by the same creature, not knowing what the heck happened. Did they both die? Obviously, we do know if you've seen the show, but, we have no idea why the monster came and got Will, why it got attacked, where it came from. So many questions already in this opening scene, and the mystery itself already sucks you in. And then that theme song, the beat is so great. You can't get any better than this intro. It is one of the iconic intros into a show. It's hard to skip the intro because it sounds so good, and you just want to watch the intro just for the listen to this music. And it's definitely one of my favorite intros, by far one of my favorites. I also enjoyed the connection to D&D. I like how essentially this board game is kind of going to be what the rules of how they're going to follow going forward, of how to defeat certain monsters and how to make their next moves. And I just love that connection's already there. Them talking about how Will could have easily used Protect, and instead he ended up going for the fireballs, and what if he was trying to protect the group? Like, I like how they're connecting all of this back to the game, and it shouldn't make any sense at all, but it does in a weird way, and I love how it does connect to the D&D game. I love that connection so much. There's only one con. It feels very slow at times. There'll be moments where we're going real quick, picking up pace here, and then all of a sudden, boom, just kind of slow, and we're going just moving along at a slog. Like, maybe the runtime could have been cut down a little bit more. It definitely wasn't the biggest problem in the world, especially since you're so into the episode that you don't feel like, oh dang, this was almost an hour long, but there just was times where it's like, okay, I can go take a bathroom break while this is going on, But yeah, I'd say it's a solid opening to a show, and I gotta give it an A+. Like, it's hard for me to say that it's not a good episode, that it's not a good opening to a show, and it already sucks you in, brings you in, and you're ready for the next episode, and to try and get some answers on what everything is going on right now. Like, we don't get any, obviously, because it's the first episode, but you want to figure out why Will's gone, how he got kidnapped, what kidnapped him, what's the connection between this lab. Like, there are so many things that you just want to find out right away after this first episode. So definitely a solid episode, definitely a great intro to a show, and I am obviously excited to continue watching this show, and excited to see how it ends. Even if it ends on a bad note, I kind of just want to see it and ride on through with it. But if you made it this far, I gotta say, you guys are the true MVPs. Thank you very much. And like I always say, what you watching, what you reading, what you gaming, put it down in the comments so I can see your suggestions and see if they're something I might want to be looking into. But until the next episode, I will see you later.